This is Ted Dean, your AI coach from AI Masters Dojo, and welcome to 2025. In this video, I thought it'd be really interesting to have a look at some of the predictions that were made back at the beginning of 2024 and see how many of them actually came to life. So let's get into it. So first of all, I am going to go to ChatGPT version 4.0 because that's got the capabilities of searching the internet. I'm going to click the little icon for search the internet and I'm going to simply type in here AI trends for 2024 and I'm going to see what we come up with. Now, the reason why I'm using ChatGPT for this because it saves me having to scroll through countless amounts of websites, and to be honest, I've become a bit of a fan of using AI search. So it's going to come up with a bunch of predictions in here. I could read through all of these. I'll leave this on screen, or you can pause the screen if you want to read through each one of these. What I'm actually interested in, if I scroll down to the bottom, is this little button here called sources, because if I click that, then I'm going to get a list of all the websites that ChatGPT used to source the information that it just gave to me. What I'm looking for are websites that were written at the beginning of 2024 that will actually give us the websites that give us the prediction, because quite a few of them have been written at the end. So you can see here what trends, January 2025, you can see that quite a few of them are relatively recent, and so they're probably a reflection very similar to what I'm doing here, but I actually want to find the websites that were written at the beginning of 2024. So I've got one here from Microsoft in February, kind of a little way into 2024, but we'll just open that up into a new tab. What else have we got? We've got top artificial intelligence trends from IBM. That should be another pretty good source. So let's click on that one. Let me go back to ChatGPT. And what else have we got here? Before I find any more, let's just see what these two have to say. Microsoft have only got 3. IBM might actually have a few more. So let's have a look. Top big 3 trends for 2024 from Microsoft. Well done, Microsoft, for really putting in a lot of effort into only finding 3. But anyway, let's have a look. First one, small language models. Yeah, I think this one is actually really accurate. At the end of 2024, in the last quarter, we started to see 2 versions of these. For example, 4.0 and we have 4.0 mini. Same as the recent release of ChatGPT 01 and 01 mini. Now, these work faster to give you a faster result. Probably not as accurate because, for example, in 01, it doesn't do as much thinking. But for tasks that don't require as much thinking or as much effort, or as much time or as much compute, then that's where you've got the mini models. The reason why we're seeing that is because to actually produce an outcome from AI, it does use a lot of compute. And we do have a problem at the moment where a lot of these large companies just can't get enough GPUs to service the large language models that we've got. So this is a trend which is absolutely coming. The other thing which is hopefully going to come in 2025, and that's part of my predictions, which I'm going to be posting a video very, very soon, are large language models that can actually be processed on device. This trend is absolutely 100% correct. We did see the smaller language models coming into fruition. Multimodal AI, I think we've had that a fair while. So let me just copy this because I thought we actually had that in 2023. I know there was probably a couple of smaller ones prior to that, but ChatGPT was one of the majors. So let's go. When did ChatGPT go multi-model? All right, let's see what the results are. Now, I could be wrong. ChatGPT became multi-model in the release of 4.0 on May the 4th, 2024. Okay. Prior to that, in March 4, allowed you to text and image input. Okay, so I was kind of right that it became available in 2023. It definitely became more relevant in 2024, where ChatGPT can create as well as text. Can it create audio? I didn't realize. I don't think it can create audio. So I think ChatGPT might have that one wrong. Let's check it. Can you create audio? Oh, that is terrible spelling. Yes, I can generate it for. Okay, interesting. I might play with that a little bit later on. I've just learned something. I didn't realize that ChatGPT can create audio. I do question that, and I will be testing that one a little bit later. But modal did definitely come into fruition around 4.0 in 2024. And, I think that trend's going to continue in 2025 because we're now starting to see video starting to become part of these GPTs or these AI models. AI in science, yeah, okay. AI in science has been used for a long time. The thing that we did see in 2024 was the ability for AI to start creating its tests and creating synthetic data. So this is verging on coming close to AGI, where AI can now start running its own test and creating its own experiments. So yes, I tend to agree, although science has been using AI for a little while now, it is gaining momentum in 2024. So that's a 50-50. But yes, look, I'll tend to agree that it is getting used in science more and more because it can run its own experiments. So well done, Microsoft. I'll give that a 3 out of 3. So let's have a look at our other article that we found, which is IBM, the important trends for 2024. Let's see how accurate IBM have been and see if there is some similarities between the two predictions. So first of all, multimodal, absolutely. I think both Microsoft and IBM agree. I agree too that modal is definitely well and truly on its way in 2024, and it's got a little way to go yet because we're just starting to see video coming in. If IBM put this in brackets because I thought that video was going to be included in this, then they might have got it wrong, but it's close enough to being correct. I'll give them that. The smaller language models, absolutely. Open source advancements, there have been some. However, the most popular, LLMs that are getting used are the proprietary ones. A lot of open source projects don't have the funding to compete with the $700 million, for example, that OpenAI will spend on training a new version. And it's very difficult to compete. What else have we got? Here we go. So I was actually mentioning this. The reason why the smaller models are really important is because of this trend that we're experiencing and looking at right now, where one of our bigger bottlenecks when it comes to artificial intelligence is GPU storage and cloud cost, the cost in actually running a lot of really advanced, hence the reason why smaller models are becoming more of a trend and being, having them available. In the latest version of the O series of ChatGPT, they're playing with a new version called O3, and I was reading an article the other day that it costs in excess of over $300,000 just to run one prompt, which is really, really expensive. Good to see what it can do if you can afford it, because that expense will only come down in time. But this is where companies will need to have eventually. We'll probably see it more in 2025. We'll need to make the choice of which models they actually use. Because at the moment, for 4.0 and 4.0 mini, I just use 4.0. I've never gone to mini because to me, it doesn't make any difference in cost. However, for OpenAI, there is a difference in cost. So I think that choice between the smaller model and the larger models will be becoming more relevant in 2025. So early prediction for the small models. This is definitely an issue, and we read about it all the time or fairly regularly and so forth. So model optimization, yeah, that's kind of always been around, fine tuning. It is important to make all of these models more efficient because of the cost of running them. And every time a new version of a AI model comes out, we seem to notice that the cost of the historic ones decrease because they're just getting better at what they do at lower costs. So we are seeing that trend, and that trend will likely to continue. I don't know if it's really a trend. I think it's just part of, what it does. Now, this is an interesting one. Back at the beginning of 2024, I thought myself that this would actually be a larger trend than what it actually is. And that is companies being able to run their own AI on their own servers or on their own kit, like bare metal. So you could have a server in your office or a computer in your own office, or you could have your own virtual PC in the cloud, and you can run your own AI model on that PC. This has a couple of advantages. One, it gives you the ability to keep all of your data sovereign. And if you are running something, let's say on your laptop, like an AI on your laptop, then it means that the data doesn't even need to have connectivity to the internet. So I did think this was going to become more popular in 2024. It's kind of there, but it hasn't really taken off, and it's not really adopted. I guess training your own models can be time consuming and costly. That's the reason why a lot of the proprietary models are there, because they've got the expense of doing the training, pre-training already for us. And running your own on your own infrastructure can be expensive, just like it is for the large companies like OpenAI and Microsoft and Google and Amazon, and the list goes on. We'll probably see more of this in 2025, so I think it's more of a 2025 trend than a 2024 trend, but I think we'll see it where we'll see more AI on device. For that, there's just too many advantages on running it. But this can't really happen until we get better, smaller, large language models that we can load up on a device and that can be run on a mobile phone or a laptop. I'm going to get into that one a little bit more when I'm going through my 2025 predictions. More powerful virtual agents. Yes, this has been a thing. AI agents became a thing when GPTs came into play. So let me go back into ChatGPT and go, when did ChatGPT have GPT? The spelling is absolutely atrocious. I'm really bad at spelling and all the rest of it while I'm recording, so forgive me for that. Yes, okay, where are we? Developed in March 2023. Okay, so we had this at the beginning in March 2023, so we've had that for quite some time, where you can create your own GPTs in the top corner. So if, unslide my screen, I don't know what you call it, but anyway, if I my screen, you can see here all of these are pre-trained GPTs, so then I can just click on them and then use them, and they've been trained up to do a specific task. As you can see, 2024, yes, it came out in 2023, but these GPTs, they're a big part of the dojo and part of our training in being able to train up your own individual AI agents to do specific tasks. They're going to continue in 2025 to really become advanced, especially with AGI. But again, that's another one for the 2025 video. Yes, copyright is a thing. Regulation is a thing. We've been saying, like, people in the AI space have been saying this for ages, and I'm glad that governments and other authorities are taking note and are starting to bring in some regulation. Probably not as far down the track as what I'd like. Companies are definitely thinking about it. I'm talking with lots of businesses now about AI policies and all the rest of it, and that conversation is becoming more and more relevant all the time. Shadow AI. Now, what is that? Business registration? Okay, all right. Shadow AI. Let me explain what this is. And yes, it is completely relevant that companies are becoming more aware of what this is dubbed as shadow AI. What it is when you're running an organization, you're a business owner or you're a leader, and you've got, let's say, 100 staff, and you don't know who in that staff pool, who is using AI and what kinds of AI they are using, which is particularly dangerous if you're dealing with sensitive information and IP, because if they're using free versions of AI tools, such as the free version of ChatGPT, which is highly likely, and they're uploading or including information from your company, then the free version of ChatGPT and a lot of free versions of AI, not just ChatGPT, they use that information to train better models in the future, which means you run the risk of having your IP as part of its training set. Highly unlikely, but you do run that risk. Now, shadow IP, AI, means that you're a business owner, you have staff in your company using AI, and you don't even know it, and therefore you're running that risk of that information getting leaked. The best thing to negate that is to have an honest conversation with your staff and say, look, we need to adopt AI, we want to do it in a controlled manner, and we want everybody to tell us what AI tools they're using, how they're using it, And then you can make a decision as to whether or not it is an AI tool you want to adopt throughout your company, and pretty much just build that list of approved AI tools and unapproved AI tools with some rules on what information can be uploaded to the approved AI. It's just common practice. It's a conversation you need to have because people are adopting AI and you may not even know it, which then has its own risks in relation to that. So that was a really good list from IBM. I think it was pretty accurate. So out of the two, they are two pretty credible sources. They are usually on the front foot of AI and information and technology. So it's not surprising that a lot of what they've been saying is true, which makes it interesting because I think I'll run another video and actually come back to especially these two players and see what predictions they're making for 2025. But that will be after I've done what I think will be popular or what will be trending in 2025 for AI. So then that way I can see how accurate they are and how accurate I am, and just see by the end of 2025 how good all of our predictions were. Anyway, thank you for joining me through this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Thank you for watching AI Masters Dojo, where you master the art of AI. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. To learn more about what we cover here on the channel, make sure to check out the dojo using the links in the description below. Drop your questions or thoughts in the comments, we'd love to hear from you. And until next time, keep striving to master the art of AI. See you in the next video.